Union Minister Rajnath Singh has said that they are open to bring changes in the Agniveer policy, Agniveer scheme. So, what desired changes should be brought in as per you, sir?
As you already know, that Agniveer was actually brought in the narrative was that they want to induct youth into the armed forces. Well, youth was already being inducted. I could not understand what does it mean by youth, because a recruit comes, he's very young, and he's full of energy and full of vigor. Question is, the problem arose this 4 years period in which they were being brought. 4 years, the changes which should be expected is that it should not be 4 years. It should be minimum 11 years. You have to bring, even if you're bringing a boy at the age of 19 or so, 11 years, he barely touches 30. So till 30, you are having a absolutely efficient youth with you. So if you bring a person for at that age and make him serve for 11 years, and thereafter you when you put him on training for a trade, like for a gunner, for a radar operator, or whatever the case may be, you get proper work out of him, proper service out of him. If you bring out, and if you want to train a gunner or a radar or a missile technician, what are you going to teach him? He won't finish his training by 3 years, and he will be ready to go out. So you don't gain anything. Actually, it is not a very reasonable scheme. It requires changes. It is a good scheme where the youth will be employed and be made available and brought up to the mark. But the period has to increase. So it has to increase at 11 years, and from thereafter, don't let 75% go and you only retain 25. You make it the other way around. 75 have to be retained, and if need be, 25% can be sent out and put into another units of Indian government, paramilitary or aware, where they are utilized further. That should be the Agniveer scheme. Because if you notice, we are very short of lot of technical people in Army, Navy, Air Force, at that level, at the technician level. I am not touching the armed force officers at the moment. We are serious shortage, especially in infantry and all. How do you train an infantry? You can't even make a section commander in 3 years for training. Well, you can do nothing about it. So what are you? You are only giving him a training of holding rifle, saluting, having a haircut and go about. So that is not a right thing to do. And when you give him 11 years of training, and even if he goes out, he has substantial amount of training, and his personality improves. He is well trained in whichever trade. His job opportunities increase, even if he doesn't take up a government job. So that is what it should be. So I personally feel what Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said is very good, very nice, very appreciable, because he's put all these problems to rest, that government will study the whole scheme and bring in changes where necessary. I personally feel I must commend this decision of the Indian government.
So, do you think that like if some positive changes are brought in this scheme, the youth will be more financially secure, because as of now the 75% are to be are to be pushed outside this, and 25% are to be retained. So, do you think that this change, what you said, that 75% must be retained and 20, if the need be, 25% can be left back? So, do you think it will make the youth more financially secure, job secure?
Yes, because the job pay promised is absolutely very correct for an 18, 19-year-old boy. If he's getting 35,000 rupees start, and he's going up and he's increasing similarly, now when the person goes out, he will not go without pension. He must get the pension, or whatever a financial decision is taken, it should be benefited. He should not left high and dry. He should get with proper financial backing, which the government will ensure. They have experts on this, and armed forces will not be left, again, the word I use is high and dry, because there are a number of technical posts in the fighting arm, whether they're in missile operations, whether it is an armament trade, technicians, instrument trade, whether it is on ship, whether it is armed forces, army, the similar trades are there in army. All their places, they'll get right people because that is what you want. And when they are retained, the person who is retained, and he then gets into that fervor and spirit of serving his unit, Naam, Namak or Nishan, that aspect comes alive in his mind. If his training is over in 3 years and he has just 1 year left, he is only waiting and writing emails for a next application and next job opportunity. He is not paying attention to his job. You cannot expect a person who knows that he'll be able to go after 3 years or 2 years left now. You can't expect him to carry out the same fighting with same spirit as a regular soldier will produce, because you will never even be able to build that spirit into him. It's not his fault. It is just that you will never be able to bring a proper fighting spirit into the person. He will treat your armed forces like a little job opportunity in intermission, and he is now going to get and then going to go. And that is what a lot of countries with conscription are facing. Chinese are facing the same thing, where the soldiers come for 4 years, they are crying to go to Siachen because they said, "Mera MBA ho gaya hai, 3 years have left. Why should I be put into this fighting at Siachen?" Believe you me, the television has shown clearly the boys crying. He says, and not crying, they're crying in unison, calling their mother.